Welcome, lords and ladies of fate. In this stream, we do various tabletop role-playing games as you, the audience, earn fate chips that can be used to reward or punish your favorite players or their characters. You can earn fate chips by watching, following, hosting, or subscribing, or just generally contributing to the game. You can then use those fate chips to heal characters, adjust their next skill checks, or force them to say silly lines, or just wreak havoc on the story. Tonight we're playing Star Trek Adventures. We are 2 players down, so we're going to do a Klingon side quest this evening. And of course I'm joined by Good Devil here. I'm joined by Armand. And we have Q, our GM, who I believe has a good trivia question for us, for the audience.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, I know.
Well, we can go with our typical when you sub for 3 months straight, whether it's Prime or anything like that, because Primes are free and that's all we ever really ask for. You get a Lords and Ladies a Fate t-shirt with the design of Chombo, our chicken from the racing chicken from the Rifts campaign. And if you continue that sub for 6 months, then we give you the Lords and Ladies of Fate glass.
Lords and ladies of fat.
Yes.
Yeah. You actually get a it's a single of Weird Al's Fat.
Mhm.
It's pressed on vinyl. Yeah, absolutely.
Multiple choice. Anybody want to take a guess? Just guess. You can guess
25% chance.
multiple answers. You just have to be not shy enough to type.
Yup.
Anybody can
I know
win.
the answer. But that's just because I'm a nerd.
Yep.
Yup. Rasunos, that's a nice guess. That's a nice guess.
Honorable mention.
That is a family name for a Klingon. Lursa is the hot Klingon.
Is that one of the sisters?
Mm-hmm. Was not expecting that.
We could. We could do that.
Is that masochism? What you just did, Good Devil? Is that masochism? Yes. uh... My favorite Klingon. Oh, I love Martok. Oh, God. Where did Q go? Oh my, indeed. Ooh. Ooh, you've just been gotten, chat. I am.
That would be me. Me. It's me.
I can't hear you without the blue paint on your face. Decoration for a Klingon vessel. It's yeah, right. The Klingon transporters sound vicious. Y- Yeah, you can literally feel your atoms being ripped apart.
That's the way we like it. and no glory.
How dare they not? How dare they not send people here to greet us? This is an insult. Do they not know who I am? I'm gonna get up really close to Krovek's face and go, "You watch your tongue, you targ," and I'll lead the way. Yep. I came prepared.
Oh, is it?
Oh my. Or maybe it's just you couldn't hear Q's speaking over our fine Klingon accents. We are being very vocal today. He's still an ensign.
Interesting.
Did you just SOS? I heard it, but I didn't hear, I'm not listening to the stream.
I love the idea of you all just playing telephone. That would be beautiful. If I share my screen, do I also need to share my mic?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, we got it. We figured it out.
What'd you figure
Is it
out?
doubling anybody else though?
No.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'll take
All
it.
right.
Good. I have been delayed far too long. Take me to the bridge.
That would be the bridge.
Take me to the bridge.
Oh, this is going to be really wrong, but it's so.
Targ. You're lucky that this mission is of great import to the Empire and our war with the Dominion.
Boy, you're almost, in a true Klingon fashion, you'll never even make it out of the room before your blood will run as reddish pink as ever. You do know the old man is the doctor, right?
I'm waiting to see if I have to patch one of you idiots up.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, you can make your way up to the bridge. One of the things you do notice is that as your feet rattle on the metal deck plates under your massive, heavy warrior boots, you all come equipped with your batleth and your MacLeod and your disruptor, as is befitting a warrior's. You notice a distinct lack of crew on this ship. Even a few warriors would be gracing the corridor. Even a few servitors would be possibly on a ship of this size. It would be approximately 60 crew for a mission of this, for a fully staffed ship.
Also, Corbett Fogue, thanks for the follow. Spam chat hearts in the chat for the extra follow. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. It's closer to our goal.
Yes, for he is taking care of someone who is a bondmate of mine. So thank you, Mr. Fahogue. We have to put apostrophes. Can you put an apostrophe in his name?
Yes.
Yes. It is an honorable apostrophe. It is an honorable punctuation mark. So you do come. We're going to walk you right through. The ship seems to be in good repair, just no people. Boom. You pop through the hatch. You see a captain in the center seat, along with a and I'm going to go with the Klingon word, which is kusha, which is a human fusion Klingon, which is reminiscent of the TOS era. And they are essentially officially Klingons, but they're pretty much second-class citizens. And this is where that subtle bigotry can come into play if you choose to do that.
Oh, I choose.
And you'll notice this is played by John Shook without makeup this time. So that's a nod to all the fans, if they ever need that. She spins around, and political person, Lieutenant Dreg. You may actually have a chance of recognizing who this is, because as we pointed out, you are going to be flexing on things.
Oh yeah.
What?
I just pick the flexor every single time.
Flexor, yeah. I believe you can pull rank. This might also include your etiquette focus.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do things to give or not give offense. Keep in mind, it's not what you say; it's how you say it in the Empire. So go ahead and you can decide. Honestly, if you want to think of medieval feudal Japan as a model, you wouldn't be too far off in behavior for this sort of a game. All right, this is a presence and command roll to kind of recognize them, as well as using your etiquette focus. You'll need it's a difficulty level 1 task.
Okay.
If you want to do that.
And since I'm using etiquette, that's going to bring my critical range to my command 3,
yes.
right?
Brings your critical range up to 3.
7 and 9, we got it.
7 of
2.
9. Very
yes.
good. You recognize this person she's from a minor house, and her name is Kartok, daughter of Karleth, and she has served honorably in the Empire. She's a decorated veteran, and not someone to have just been assigned a assigned a pointless or valueless mission to let you know the status of the person. You know, not a major house person, however, a good solid commander who is decorated. But she is going to, before you act upon that, she won't face you. She's going to be facing the view screen when you come on board, and says, "I see the Empire is at least not recruiting from the very bottom of the barrel, for you were able to find your way here well enough, even though there was no food."
I'll look at the captain and go, Captain Kartok, it's with great honor that I find myself aboard your vessel. I did not know that we were being positioned here.
Yes, we seem to all not know each other extremely a lot. That didn't come out right. But either way, I'm rolling with this. It won't be long before there is a pledge break, because, again, I am Captain Carr Talk. I'm waiting for that to land. Good. Now, yes, I have no idea about you or what purpose you could serve, but I will tell you that this ship has been heavily modified and is prepared to undertake a very dangerous mission. I only hope that some of you might have a better answer or have pieces of information that could be of use before we're contacted by the general.
Do
And this other person, Kartom, just says, "You will have your belly filled soon enough. That is if you want, but that is if you can keep down whatever is being served on the ship after they removed half of our crew."
Was that Kratom who just spoke?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
No idea.
You dare speak to us, you dog? Captain, you let these vile things roam around your ship?
She does look at you. Her eyes flick toward you. I believe you guys have went in front of her, or are you still kind of doing the behind the scenes and talking over past the person?
I believe when at least Dreg, when he addressed the captain, would have wanted to do it in to actually show respect for the honor that she's deserved.
Okay. Kartok, her eyes flick to you, and her lids sort of lower a little bit. It's like, I think you would be wise to not treat someone whose hands hold your miserable life with slightly more respect.
If his hands hold our lives, then they're already lost.
Well, that's... Oopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doo. What do you do? Fair talk. Actually, Kratom responds, "One can fight without using a blade. It is often more deadly." And then he puts his hand on the ship's hull in a very, I don't know, very uncomfortable way. Let's just go with that. It's a very uncomfortable feeling for a Klingon. And then bangs the hull loudly, his flat hand slapping hard against the old metal. "We have made some very amazing modifications to the Makchar," which you assume is the ship's name, so that we will now be able to turn the Federation's own pacifistic technology to our advantage and drive home a victory which is much needed in these days of the war. And again,
I'm gonna absolutely respond. I'm gonna do the little flex here. Here we go.
with the shade throwing.
Yes, but he says that you can fight without a blade. I'd like to see you fight me with one. And I'm gonna grab my batleth and I'm gonna start like swinging it around, like, come, fight me if you will, or are you afraid, Kratom?
I will walk up and put my hand on Lieutenant Dregg's shoulder. Say, today is a good day to die, but tomorrow is
Yes, today is a great day to die. Come, Kratom.
Did you listen to the rest of the quote?
No.
You might want to listen to the rest of the quote. There's an asterisk there. The asterisk is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now.
I'll put Drake puts his batleth down and he kind of gives the doctor like a snarling look and then looks back at Kratom and goes, "This isn't over."
I look forward to testing your mettle when you've returned from this. We will get you to where you need to go, and then you can strike for all of us. And also, by the way, for the effective use of catchphrase, one extra momentum was earned. And let me see, asterisks are the apostrophe of the Ferengi language. We'll just need to know that. So what will happen is at this point, Kartok says, well, we seem to have all made our little flexing and prancing and strutting about upon the stage. But we now should find out why we're here. And I have to put you where you belong. There. So a transmission is enabled, and now that you're all present, the computer scanners unlock the Vortex Cha encoded level encoded message for it to be played to you, the captain, everyone, for the first, seemingly, allegedly, for the first time. Who knew if the Klingons were deceitful? We shall see. One cannot always trust them. I am General Martok. You have been chosen to come to on this mission to disable and destroy a Klingon. Let me see. Let me get this straight. I'm gonna have to back up because you're already reading the mission brief, and I gotta do something about that. The war does not go well for the Empire, but we have developed a plan that could reverse our fortunes against the Dominion. A cloaked fleet stands an excellent chance of routing the Dominion forces of the Tyrellus sector. From there, we could stage raids on several critical Ketracel White facilities in the adjacent sectors. The Dominion has erected a tachyon grid in the Tyrellus sector capable of detecting our cloaked ships. Luckily, our allies at Starfleet Intelligence believe they found a vulnerability to the grid, shutting down an emitter on a remote and icy moon orbiting Talanis 7, right there, could create a gap and our fleet could pass through undetected. Captain Kartok of the House Pebus will take your squad and equipment to the Tyrellus system. You will then covertly land on the moon via modified photon torpedoes. From there, you must find your way to infiltrate the Dominion outpost and shut down the tachyon emitter. Disabling this will allow the Mok'Cha to retrieve you once our fleet has begun its glorious attack. This is a dangerous mission. Your success will earn great glory and potentially turn the tide of this war in our favor. Kapla. And then it's like Klingon version of end transmission.
Oh, dang.
Telling tattletales are without honor.
I wanted to talk to I wanted to say something to Martok.
I'm afraid that he's got no time, man. He's a busy guy. He's got one eye and he's got to keep it on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for a guy with a lot of stuff going on, he spends a lot of time at Quarks.
Also
That's all I gotta say.
He's got one eye. But do you understand the mission objectives as have been succinctly presented in a mission brief? Oh, yes. There are also gathering intelligence and retrieving any allied prisoners. Ah! All right, that's the better spirit. All right. So at that point, what I'm going to do is going to copy that and move it down here. And done. Yeah, so Captain Kartok just realized where they're being sent and how deep into enemy territory they will go. I am not happy about going this deeply into past the front lines unescorted. And Kartem says, we will get there. We now have, and he actually puffs up with some pride at this point, and says that we do not need that cloaking device, for we have found a way to turn the Federation's warp geometry against itself, against our enemies. We will use the experimental warp masking technique that I, through my genius, have developed. And we will be able to slip in under their noses, under their scaly little noses undetected.
Now, question, if I can be a little meta here. Would any of us know if this use of Federation technology or Starfleet technology would in fact go against any kind of tenuous treaty we might have with them?
What the fuck kind of Klingon are you?
I'm a Klingon who
You're
actually
Klingon.
believes in the alliance between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. It's on the character sheet. I'm playing my character.
I know. What I want to do is I want a hearty laugh from the remaining Klingons about the, buddy with the Federation douche. But you can ask him about that directly if you want. Because you can always, he seems to be really happy to lay out his genius and let you know how smart he is.
Absolutely.
And you can get him talking.
I'll go, and is this advancement of Starfleet technology in keeping with the treaty we have with them?
Words on a page. He is a bit of an old school because he is an older Klingon, probably pre-treaty even.
I'm gonna get really close to Krovek, and it goes, I care not for the feelings of any human. I care for the safety and the prosperity of the Empire. And sadly, we need the Federation. And they need us. The Dominion is our true enemy here.
Feels like
I'm gonna grab the batleth again. Let's
oh no,
go.
you guys are. We're never making it off the first page. This is like, man, you guys are.
You said we were playing Klingons. I came prepared. I came
you.
ready. I understood the assignment. I'm ready to go.
I fault no one for their playing.
Wow,
okay.
what little honor you have. Wow.
Well, no, it's like once you make a weapon move, all bets are off. There are protocols probably for for breaking up the fight, which I think is probably going to happen a little bit. Do you want to poke him with lethal or non-lethal force? All right. And there are two modes of combat in the game. All Klingon combat involving blades is indeed lethal damage, which if it takes you below your stress track, half your stress track, you're incapacitated, or five units or half your stress track. And you can see from looking at your stress tracks, you can all take a lot of punishment. But you are put out of action after 5. So you have to do a recover or shake it off maneuver, which costs you momentum. So you can attempt to shake off a wound once per combat with 2 momentum. So it's good to kind of keep the momentum pool churning or use it as threat. You also I'm just letting you know, you all have the Brakul, which is your resistance. You actually have essentially 2 points of armor against non-lethal attacks, and all of you are, of course, wearing the fine Klingon off-the-rack armor from TNG, as opposed to whatever they made on Discovery with filigree. And that will also absorb a point of damage from any source. Just letting you know that these things, to count those into your attacks. So yeah, fighting and bouncing people around is not too terribly bad. So what I'm going to do is, Sergeant Crover, let me double check what you got. You have a hand-to-hand combat focus. Haha, of course. You also have a warrior strike, which is even better. Let me see, which indicates basically any unarmed attack you have has a vicious advantage, which is if you roll a special effect, a 5 or a 6 on the attack dice, the d6s, not the d20. You get vicious, which is an extra point of damage, and also a special effect for unarmed strike includes knockdown as an option. So get all that. There's a lot of little tiny rules in here. Haven't used them in the Trek game, even though you guys have come way closer than I thought you should have. So you're going to go take a poke at him. At this point, that is security and daring. And you'll notice your characters behave much differently than they do in TNG. You have a lot better stuff going here. Okay. The 3 also goes against you. That's a critical, right? Because you have a focus in hand-to-hand combat. So that's a critical. So you have 3 successes. And what I'm going to do is, no, he's just going to catch you unawares. I'm sorry to be a dick, but I'm going to be a dick. You have 3 successes. You need only 1 success to successfully mount a hand-to-hand attack. You need 2 successes to make a successful ranged weapon attack. So in the game, mechanically, you're encouraged to go hand-to-hand, which would explain how things work on the screen when everybody's got guns. They all seem to wander around with blades, because it's easier to hit, apparently. And what you have is, if I'm not mistaken, you have a 6D melee strike. So roll 6 six-sided dice and give me the results. Okay. 1 is 1 point, the 2 is 2 points, a 5 is 1, a 5 is 1, a 6 is 2 with a special effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. That comes to 7 points of damage. 3 points come right off the top because of the shake it off capacity. And you can all at home sing along with that. which does make it a. Let me see if I can do math. That makes it a 4 stress point attack with a knockdown. Now, you're not Dreg is not incapacitated. He does take 4 points of stress damage in one attack. That's not outrageous. It's more or less a poke in the ribs because I think you all have like 17 or 16 stress. So you can trade back and forth. And what I want to do is, if you were injured, you could shake it off, but you're not. You can also do things like describe something in combat, and I can assign a difficulty or a number of momentum that can go against it. Interestingly enough, since you're fighting each other, you both draw off the group's momentum. So this will be hilarious.
I'll go ahead.
It's a good way of generating momentum.
Right. I'll go ahead and pick myself up and look at Krovek and go, "You have no honor. I challenge you, and you sucker punch me like some deceitful Ferengi. You are an embarrassment to your house." And then I say, "You're not even worth the bat'leth." And I just put the bat'leth back on, and I walk back. Make me aware when we reach our destination, and I leave the bridge.
Okay. Oh, for fuck's
What
sake.
did you say to me? I turn back around.
You believe you're off the bridge. That's fine.
Yeah, you better
I
run.
I do declare you are off the bridge. This is hilarious. It is kind of funny. I mean, I love the idea because, oh man, this could make for some interesting take my hand moments later on.
Yep.
So, Captain Kartok is gonna look at Hercule or Perkrell and just give him the eyes of like, is this like what we're gonna be dealing with? Oh, good luck, buddy. She's giving you the good luck, buddy look because she ain't going down with you.
Every battlefield needs a doctor.
Very good. Okay, you can easily follow your nose, and if not, there is the conference dining facility. And actually, I didn't know whether Drag wanted to do that as well. Who else wanted to kind of go wander off or stick on the bridge? Kartok has said we shall. She's also going to make an announcement shipwide so that way everyone can hear it. All hands prepare for slow warp, and then action within 17 kells, which is about 2.5 hours. And I'm making up a time segment for him because it's base 2.5 because no Klingon has all their fingers. So we're gonna go with that. But yeah, and so what I'm gonna do is I didn't know. Dreg, you were gonna head toward quarters of some sort, or did you want to just go to the mess hall? Or
sure, yeah, I'll wander into the mess hall. Why not?
It's gonna be good. You had a pet as a child. So I'm gonna do this. We'll put you there.
Matt, don't make that motion. That was too low. That was too low off the camera.
Paint, sorry.
Lieutenant or Sergeant Krovik, you go into the mess hall. You make it to the mess hall first. You're steaming, obviously, and you're scheming. And there is a targ here, which doesn't look to be being prepared for food. It appears to be running not wild, but It's doing target things. It's picking through a pile of bones that was in the corner there.
Do I see any blood wine?
Uh, we're gonna have to all make a decision. No, I don't think Klingons have replicators, do they? It's never been listed.
I've never seen one.
There are barrels of blood wine over. Let me see if I can find my. As a Klingon, however, you are instinctively wary of barrels. They're known as the most vicious of enemies to all true Klingons. So we're going to do this. If they were blue, they'd be more threatening. Or. So yeah, there are 2 barrels of blood wine just over here by the Targ, and it's rooting around, going through scraps and things. It doesn't seem to be in any way, it takes note of you. It snorts and then goes back to ruminating through the pickings. So you're going to go over it, and there's obviously there are many mugs from Pier 1 Imports upon the wall. Many pewter mugs from the finest of Renaissance fairs that the production team could visit. Not just the ones that look like a coffee can with a handle glued on. They're actually rather ornate, believe it or not.
I'll go ahead and grab the largest vessel that I can find,
okay,
and go ahead and pour me some blood wine and sit my ass down.
Okay. You recognize this as from the Ur-El dynasty. And one could say it was an R.L. Stein. Yeah, this is not going well.
Goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
Look what I'm wearing. Oh, let me get this horns on straight. All right. So yes, you've dipped it into the barrel. You got it. The wine is amazingly acceptable quality. I think that you're a major house, correct?
Say it again. Sorry.
Is your character of a major house?
The House of Core.
Yeah, House of Core, major. And generally, it'll say behind it brackets, major, minor.
Oh.
That's what that is. So that's in case you needed to pull extra rank.
Major. I'm from a major house.
Yes, the House of Core. And you recognize that this is very good wine. You wouldn't have expected anything less from the captain, but you're finding out even though this mission is dangerous and shady, and she's got this guy running her ship with modifications that she's not letting, she hasn't lost control or a sense of class or honor. She's making sure things are well provisioned and stocked where she can control them. All right.
As a good Klingon captain should.
She is doing her bit for the Empire. All right. So at this point, Sergeant Krobeck, once someone gets settled in, and hopefully the bloodlust can pass. I mean, keep in mind, grudge holding is kind of up to everybody as to how long these things last. By the way, Dreg, where do you wind up sitting? Like over here by the barrels?
A smart politician never sits with his back to the door, so I'll sit kind of right in front of where I am. Nope.
Oh no, you're gonna sit.
Oh wait, that's the door. That's the door. That's Krobeck standing in front of him.
Krobeck is. The barrels are here.
I'll sit where you had me just then.
People would have to cross
facing the door.
You to get to the barrels, so it depends on how much confronting you want to do. Anyway, so Sergeant Krobeck, you come in. The smell of wine, targ, and Lieutenant Dreg all fill your nostrils when you come into the room. perhaps have
remember
Galrod eyes?
I wouldn't expect less from an honorless Patak as yourself.
Oh man, we are making it without pinkish Pepto-Bismol. It's gonna be spilled tonight, folks. So at this point, I'm gonna cut back to the bridge since this is all getting uncomfortable, and I'm looking for someone to short this out. This ain't going well. Batum. Batum. Kratom actually is looking over the warp flight controls and things and says, well, things seem to be going extremely smoothly as I would predict. It's time for me to go down and have some repast before things get bumpy. So he's gonna go and follow. Yeah, this is how we're gonna do this. He's popping in while you guys are making eye contact. And the Targ sees him and waddles up on its rotund, humorous, yet amazingly, frighteningly powerful haunches, and actually goes to him for a leg nuzzle, essentially.
Ah, yes. Dogs be with dogs.
Oh, he has I'll kill a bear. I'll shove a bear for my dog, my Targ. Yeah? Yep. Yes. There is a cabinet with many things hanging in it. Most have bones. Some are wiggling and alive. Yep. Yes, as is tradition. So
I have fetched myself a giant plate of gawk.
Okay, that's from slightly over there. It is still wiggling and is, of course, surprisingly gritty, as is good gawk, and has been feeding off the clots in the bottom of the blood barrels. So you know it's well fed, high quality stuff. So Kratom just looks at the beast and gives it a bit of an affectionate Klingon shove, as is everything, and he says, "Oh, Rat Talk, soon we shall see glory this day." And he goes into, he's going to pick up a meal, and he's going to sit down and actually look at the politician and look at Dreg and say, "You of all people should understand wars are won with cunning as much with blades. You strike me as a person who understands that the sharpest blade is in the mind sometimes."
I say absolutely nothing to him and continue to look down at my plate and viciously eat my gawk.
Okay.
I slam my plate forward and stand up and grab my batleth and say, "You dare challenge me, Dreg, son, wait, I'm not done. Son of Vorakan of the House of Kor." I jump up on top of the table, swinging my batleth like side to side, like ready for action. Like, come, fight me if you will.
Yeah, Gratham's just sitting there, eating.
They always do give him enough time to say the full lineage every single time, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything. Mm-hmm. Yes, you need that. There is honor that must be. Forms must be obeyed. That is the way.
Not that I would. Not that I would expect Krovik to have any honor. He's already shown me that he doesn't have any honor.
I don't know. He pantsed you good enough the first go.
Yeah, a dirty Ferengi. right.
Yeah, this is gonna be
Am I the only one who's seen a Klingon before? I jump down off the table, so be it, and I swipe at him with my batleth if he's not going to defend himself. I gave him fair warning.
So
Oh, do we lose? Do we lose the TM?
I think he killed the DMs. Well, if nothing else, you've all murdered the plot. Very good. You challenged the plot to a duel and you won. Oh my
Look,
god!
if we don't finish this in the allotted time, hey, look, we at least had some really good Klingon moments. I think
That's very true. The blade comes down now. I'm going to go with this was not in no way a sneak attack. I'm going to be a bit of a weenie here, and I'm going to rule that this is not a surprise. You're not a Ferengi. You've observed all.
No, I make sure that he knows exactly what I'm doing before I do it, like a Klingon of honor would.
I'm going to bring over the momentum that you're both using.
I'm going to buy 3 momentum.
I want to find out which one of you is going to attempt to assist the other so you can gain extra momentum in combat. So you're going to buy, what, 2 dice of momentum?
No, I'm just... look. Let's keep this fair and honorable. Straight up, no momentum.
Okay.
And then we'll see how honorable.
However, you never said anything about threat. So anyway, ooh, wait a minute.
I would also like to just mention that I would following the other guy into this place. So just let me know when I arrive.
You're getting somewhere nearby. I have a few short.
Exactly when you will be needed.
I have a few short circuits here. So basically, these are what we call opposed roles. Both of you are against daring and security. Someone has a focus in blades, and someone has flower arranging. No, someone else has blades as a focus as well. So, Crobat, you were prepared for the attack, so both of you can roll against that and tell me how many successes you've achieved. It would be daring and security, and you both have crit for your security. That's gonna be so.
We're both obviously laughing at a good thing here, or a bad thing. I don't know. I got a 1 and a 6.
Okay. Well, I'll be switched. And a 6. Okay, so that's 3 successes to 2 successes. So that is a 1 point and a complication. So this is going to be
why Klingons
fun.
have doctors.
That's why I should have told everyone, get an extra character sheet. Get an extra. Get one of the other pre-gen. Just let's get the pre-gen right now. Do I even have a call out of appropriate stupidity? Yes. So we're just gonna let me see. Let's find a pinkish red blood. There we go.
And are the Klingons successful in their mission? We'll never
know.
No.
And now we know why the Empire. All right, we'll do that. And things go slowly. No, they go quickly off the rails, as they should. Okay, So at this point, you failed in your defense. Believe it or not, one of the attack maneuvers is to disarm, if you wish to do that. You're not missing much. You'll hear his death cry.
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to knock some sense of honor into this Patak.
So, if you wish to, do you wish to change this from a lethal strike to a non-lethal strike?
I thought all batleths were.
Fists are non-lethal. Batleths
I
are
came-
automatically lethal.
I came down with the batleth.
Okay.
I'm living by what I said.
Yep, you're gonna go with that. All right.
Mhm.
It is a cumbersome weapon, which means that you have to spend a momentum to kind of right it immediately after combat if you want to use it on consecutive combats. Don't worry about that. It is vicious. It is 7 dice of melee damage. And one of the complications is that this actually, the strike actually, well, actually, yeah. Go ahead and roll your dooms because I've got something based on the damage you do.
All right. I got a 1, a 2, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, 6. Okay,
Oh, and one more. 6.
6. So 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6. It's
Devil, I'm sorry.
vicious. Oh,
I'm just being a
You're
Klingon.
not.
I'm just being a Klingon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. All right. So you managed to inflict 8 points of damage. However, the complication is that it came down upon his blade and inflicted a majority of the damage on the blade, actually breaking the batleth of your opponent. Or actually, no, it wasn't the batleth. You were using for quick react, Krovik.
For quick react, I would have
You-
defended with
The
with
hang.
my dinner.
Your dinner
My dinner.
or your dagger?
Yeah.
Your dinner.
Yeah, no, my dinner.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to do something else to you.
Matt's just patiently waiting for a chance to do
Yeah.
anything.
Well, you're gonna get a chance to stitch somebody back the fuck up. I'll tell you that. The blade goes straight through the plate. However sturdy Klingon cutlery is, it is marginally useful as a.
Well, but what about the bone in the leg?
Yeah,
It's got some resistance.
yeah, I'm sure. You do have 1 point of armor, which takes the damage down to 7, and a point of plate, which takes the damage down to 6. However, the his blade does at least deflect somewhat and lodges solidly in your right shoulder, actually your left shoulder. Left shoulder, and because it's 5, because it's more than 5 points of damage, it is incapacitating. But you can use 2 momentum to shrug off the attack to continue functioning beyond that wound. You can do that one.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. You do you want to spend threat, or do you want to use group momentum, which you agreed not to do?
Well, we agreed not to use it on the attack. So if he wants to use it to not get hurt as bad, I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah.
Like I said, my goal wasn't to hurt him seriously anyway. My goal was to knock a sense of honor into him. So
So you're going to spend momentum or threat?
Momentum.
Wimp. What are my Jem'Hadar supposed to do with this?
Win.
this?
at this point, we're never going to get to the Jem'Hadar.
No, I fear not. At this point, enter enter what might be possibly a cooler head, certainly a grayer one.
I go, oh yes, doctor, you should come over here and see to this Patak's injuries.
Well, he's still
Well,
up.
He seems
we're
to have-
celebrating
fighting.
already. We must have already accomplished our mission. Because I know that good Klingons wouldn't risk the mission over some petty squabbling. Now, if we're all done measuring our targs, why don't we just celebrate over a drink and wait for our orders?
Yes, this is fine.
As
Make
he-
sure you heal this Patak. Let him regain
the
some
doctor
sense
said-
of honor. Maybe he'll be sent to Stovacor.
Hold on, because I think
I believe the
Order of
batleth was in
Agency,
your
I should have gone
shoulder,
first.
not your balls.
But I'm just gonna say, since I spent the momentum, yeah, I've had my dagger up to the neck of Lieutenant Drag ever since.
What?
And I'll say, the doctor interrupted me from, continuing with the attack.
You will need to attempt a roll to get your dagger moving.
And I'm pretty sure I'm paying attention to him this time.
Probably. That would be a for you to get the dagger, because you're not making the attack, correct? You're just holding it up
Mhm.
as a re-threat.
To holding it up to his neck.
Okay, so you can try. Does it have knockdown? A batleth does not have knockdown. However, it is still stuck in your shoulder, so it's gonna be a little ways
Can-
away.
Well,
Can I-
considering I have a dagger that only needs one hand.
No.
In
he's-
response, can I use the Batlift to disarm him in response?
how about we take these things? This isn't Magic
One
the
time,
Gathering. We
one
got
time.
32 interrupts going.
I'm playing blue control, goddammit.
All right. So what we're going to do is, good devil, you have basically you're going to go with a daring, because the consequence was a disabled arm or disabled offhand arm, right? You
Offhand,
need
yes.
a daring and security to kind of get your weapon up there. It will need at least one success. Now, if you want to stay your hand, essentially do the right thing, not
Mhm.
not run him through, but to do a not a feint, but a threat without
Yes.
carrying through, that's going to take a little bit more finesse. It will require 2 successes to successfully pull that off.
Which is perfectly fine, because I have rolled a 1 and a 4.
Okay, and that generates 3. That puts you into the 1. Now, Dreg, I'm putting that one up. Dreg, you have an insight and command roll to make, and that is to recognize, actually, insight and security.
Okay.
That is to recognize that the attack is not going to be lethal or attack you directly, that he's pulling his punch. That's for you. You
Okay.
need 1 success to recognize that. Otherwise, you would be allowed to respond in kind or whatever you want to do. That make sense?
10 and 18, so I got the 1.
You got the what? Wow. You did a 16. So you do recognize that he's pulling his attack, and it doesn't require a response socially, right? Is that all making
Okay.
sense to everybody? So there is the knife at the throat tableau with Dr. Hookro saying, "Come, let us drink," or whatever it is, right? Is that where we got it to?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And since combat is over,
You want to take?
I'm gonna stand up and grab Dreg's bat left.
Now, hold-
as dull as I thought it was. And
Hold,
he in the
please.
back to him.
Because I know that you're not you're pulling the punch, I want to call the bluff, and I want to take a step forward into the closer to the dagger, grab your wrist and lick the blade and go, "Now this blade has some honor to it," and then throw your wrist away.
How
and then
how pervy are we in this?
right. Hey, Klingons fuck.
Yes, twice. Yes. Do you? Let me see. That still
away.
doesn't leave. That still doesn't. That still allows Korvek to do the same. Do the flex with the removal of the batleth. The Good Devil, will you allow that action to happen? The blade lick thing. Or do you just want to flick your wrist and
thought
take
we were
care of it?
already past that point, but
Yeah, we are
I
kind of.
guess. Let's keep it going.
Okay. You still pull this the batleth out of the arm or out of your shoulder. To kind of grunt that down, I'm really gonna need like a fitness and security check. Should not be a problem.
Nope.
You're gonna be fitting this batleth up your
I
ass.
got a
Don't
9
watch
and a
yourself.
13.
9 and 13. That's 2. I'm gonna divert one of those points just for sheer badassery to taking one of your points to a momentum that Hercule can use in a healing roll. So I didn't know what the doc wanted to do while you guys are busy doing the drum roll of Klingon Peni upon table. It's like a drum
I'll
like
come
here.
over, kind of, to slyly put
Yep.
myself between them.
Okay.
How bad is the wound?
It is it's incapacitating. It will require just minor attention because he didn't go to 0. Well, that's when things get really serious. But you can easily stabilize him and move forward. Yeah, you can stitch it a little later. He's not bleeding out, so you can do that. You could do it here, or you could do it a little bit somewhere else, out of in a little less public place.
Are both hands in full?
It's up to you. Huh?
Are both his hands full?
Let me see. One doesn't work anymore, and the other has a dagger in it still, with some saliva on it.
All right. What I'm going to do
Honorable saliva.
is replace the dagger with a bug.
Okay, so you're gonna just take it out
Yep.
of his hand and put it back. Yep.
And say
okay.
to him, fine wound. This will scar up nicely for good stories in the future.
Is that okay with you, Krovek?
Bye.
And then I walk over and give myself a glass or a mug.
I did not think we were going to be in the mess hall this long. Someone
It's
just
got
had to tag
real-
along.
Neither did the referee. Neither did the
Real
referee.
barracks vibes here.
Yeah, the referee didn't think you were going to be in the barracks doing this long either. What? I guess we skip over the shopping trip.
I want to go to the inn.
We go to the inn. You're all going to buy equipment, but I guess not.
Nah, my equipment strong. My equipment
Oh.
steady.
No, that's no.
But at this point, let me see if I can get a certain situation going here. Don't have the Klingon klaxon just offhand, so you're gonna have to roll with it for a sec. There is a shattering sound as the ship lurches and begins being thrown around, because the captain's voice comes through the speakers that and says that the we have a gravitic collapse. All hands to battle stations. All hands to emergency stations. And the ship begins essentially like, getting all janky, moaning, groaning. The lights begin flickering, and you get that sound that you get always. And
Good, the battle music started.
Yeah, the battle music has now started.
Why do I hear boss music?
Yep. The ship appears, sounds. Who has the highest engineering skill?
I have 3.
You have 3.
I
I
have
think that's
one.
about it.
2.
2. All of you recognize the very sickening sound of a Klingon ship dropping out of warp and torquing at the hull. In the interest of not hurting anyone further, we're going to forego some fitness rolls to keep you from being splattered against various bulkheads and things. However, the Targ does go rolling across the floor and squealing as it's slammed against the wall.
Yes, that would make an excellent dinner.
Being a solid little creature, it shakes it off and snorts and then and stares around, a bit confused about the whole situation. You hear Kratham running toward the engineering bay, and saying things like, "I can manage this," and heads towards engineering. You have some choices now. You do know that you are to be launched in modified torpedoes to the place. You can stay here in the cafeteria. You can go to the bridge. You can go to engineering, or you can go to the flight deck or the launch bay where the torpedoes are. And that's up to you as to where you want to lend a hand.
Meta question: do we know what our battle stations are?
Technically, you don't have them, so the crew's understaffed. Almost anywhere is fine, but your mission is what?
Right. So I'm gonna hit my communicator and call to the captain.
Sure.
Captain, how far away are we from being shot off to the moon?
We are outside the system, but we're also not in control.
Are you? How much time do you need before we're in range for you to fire the torpedo?
We will get you there. Prepare yourselves.
Very well. I'm heading to the torpedo bay immediately.
Also, you hear a large explosion over the comm, and then her voice is cut off. So you've got things going on. Who else wants to go where? So you're going to head to the launch bay where the torpedoes would be, correct?
I'm going to follow
Okay.
I better follow.
to the torpedo bay.
All 3 of you are heading to the launch bay, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
You make it through. There are a few. Whoa! What did I not do here? You'll forgive me while I clean up some issues. Oh, there's that. Okay. There's that. Okay. Yeah, you were gonna go shopping. That's not happening today.
Someone had to challenge my honor.
Yeah, someone had to challenge my honor. Some days you just can't let things go. So you see a bunch of photon torpedoes in a cargo launch bay configuration. There seem to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. 4 of them are marked with equipment. And then there's 3 with your names on them.
Is there anyone around that's going to be able to are the torpedoes already loaded into their firing bay, or is there someone around that's going to be able to load everyone and all the equipment in?
Well, the Empire would have a warrior to assist. However, I don't know. They seem a little preoccupied with, I don't know, keeping the ship together. You yourselves may have to load yourselves into the tubes. They are on racks. They are on the firing rack, ready to go. They are in this little track system.
All right.
Each one gets their own track because that's just how we're going to do this. But yeah, your stuff, your torpedoes are available. You do have, like I said, 4 additional torpedoes with you that are marked equipment, or you recognize as being equipment for your launches. And the captain's voice comes through the speaker, and you can hear this here, which is you hear sounds of the bridge exploding, and her phrase, "I'll be fine. We're going to get through this." And another like hapless warrior just gets blown into pieces behind her and thrown against a bulkhead. And you overhear Kartok, or not Kartok, the engineer saying that we have a breach in progress. The Dominion used a gravitic array, and then he's cut off as things as things seem to get busted up and static. And Kartok just says, "Warriors to your tubes. You must continue." And you get the sense that things are going sideways really fast up there. Now you do recognize that these are this isn't your first time being launched out of a torpedo bay. You're all warriors of the Empire. Specifically, the person who's been most launched is Krovek, who has seen several ground assaults using these sorts of devices, where you've been launched down to a target. So you're familiar with how to get people into them, how to get people out of them, and that there's a launch button inside of each of them that will allow you to initiate and launch from the ship without another warrior available.
And very quickly, I don't know how I missed it, but just a few minutes ago, Cosmic Ether followed us. So thank you very much. Everybody can spam the chat full of hearts for Cosmic Ether.
I believe that a life mate has joined as well. Good. So, oh my goodness. So yes, well, those hearts are good because, well, they're going to be splattered all over the planet if they don't get this right.
Well, I'd like to. All right, you heard the captain. Everyone into their tubes.
I go ahead and climb into my tube, screaming, "For the Empire!"
For the Empire. And as I'm gonna let Lieutenant Greg get in the tube, but I'm gonna make sure I go over to the doctor. Be like, "Hey, don't make sure that you hit this specific sequence to make sure the launch goes off without a hitch," and get into my tube.
All right. I'm going to make sure both of them are secured and ready to go before I do.
Did you give him a good one or not?
I'm sorry?
Did you give him a specific sequence that was positive?
The doctor, yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to help make sure all the rest of them are set in their tubes and everything's good.
Oh, have you got who's actually gotten into their tube? Okay, Dreg is in his tube.
And I'm going to finish my mug of wine first.
Oh, okay. You have not.
I brought mine with
closed
me.
The lid. Krovek, are you in the tube?
Yes.
You've gotten in the tube after you set the doctor up. Doctor, you did not close the lid. Are you going to get back out of your tube and make sure Dreg's okay?
Yep, I'll make sure everybody's okay and set and stable, and then I'll get back in my tube.
Okay. One of the things I'm going to have to ask for is a daring and security roll to make sure you stay stable at this point.
From everybody?
At this moment, just from the doctor, because he's the only one outside of his tube. As things get horrible, and I've got to get rid of that.
2 successes, a 5 and a 9. My target was 13.
5 and a 9. Okay, and if I recall correctly, we left off in the conference room with a 6. I'm fine, really. Just want to make sure I have your correct markers here. Copy that.
I'm sorry that you put all that time into the general store and I ruined it.
That's your problem. If you show up without the Klingon French, the equivalent of the Klingon French tickler when you encounter the Jem'Hadar Bordello, you're just gonna have to improvise.
What do Klingons consider a tickle? That's what I want to know.
I believe it involves steel wool
Yeah, that sounds
and
about right.
sand. Lots of sand.
I hate sand.
Oh. Yeah, you guys are into the tubes. You've locked them down. You all tripped the sequences. You never mentioned to Drag what he needed to do.
Part of
his
me
sequence.
making sure everything's okay is to make sure he has the right sequence. But
Ah,
I'm keeping it to myself.
Ah! Okay.
Always trying to find some unhonorable way of getting rid of me.
Well, you did have the highest engineering rate for a reason. So, yeah, you do wind up, at this point, you wind up hitting the ship begins shaking violently. You're all inside the tube, so now you have
Yep.
very few lights, some red shining upon your faces. You are held in place with the magnesium strips, as all good science fiction tube troopers have. And
as they did.
sorry, tube
Troopers.
troopers.
All right.
That's
I'm going
formula
to
to
enter
do-
that launch sequence. Let's go.
All right. And the beautiful thing is that if one of you trips the sequence, all of you shoot out. So the doctor does this. Look, there's automated tubes. The torpedoes, they also have to launch at some point. So, just saying. It would have been better for you to give him the bad command that would have aborted or opened it in mid-space. So you make it down, or you launch. It's a bit jostly. That's not too big of a deal. And you get outside of the ship, and something rather unexpected happens because the DM needs to spend.
Is it that these two find out how to fight inside the tubes?
Yes, they will now learn how to fight. They will just keep pushing the tube over into the next guy, and it will require a con and daring check to slam your tube into the other guy. You actually are.
I've already made that roll. I've got 2 1s and a 3. No, just kidding.
And then Good Devil rolls a 20, because that is just how that's gonna go. You do hear over the intercom as your tubes are firing out, that Captain Kartok says, we have an unsustainable warp core breach. Remember us with honor. And then she kind of turns the ship. There's no way of seeing, but you can imagine the ship is veering off away as you are fired out under thrust, and you are now essentially on your own as you feel the shudder as the core of the ship finally breathes its last upon space and creates the classic Klingon bird of prey explosion that we've all come to know and love. The
one that they reused.
Yeah, the exploding bird of prey happens once again, and we've saved some money on this because we may have to go on location.
I just think to myself, no, not again.
Not again. Yes. So
That
what'll
guy's
happen
history
is
stranded once before.
so you've got this thing. Your torpedoes are at least somewhat undamaged, and they begin orienting themselves and heading toward the planet. You also hear a series of secondary explosions, and you have a bit of an indicator, which is like 7 lights on them, and 4 of the lights go out. And from Korvik, you recognize these as basically, that's your flight. your flight group. That's your pod of your that's what's under control of all your torpedoes. So that's the torpedoes that were launched with you.
Do I know which ones belong to what?
Miraculously, they all appear to be equipment pods. They were launched last. They were caught up in the.
You know,
Yeah.
I deserve something nice today. I can't just have one thing.
I don't know if we ever healed your injuries either.
No,
on top of
no, we
this.
didn't yet. I
Nope.
was gonna do it before we launched, but we had kind of ran out of time.
He was getting ready to do it, and he was like, "Oh no, these would be really good scars."
Yeah, no, he said these are going to be really good scars and then never did anything.
He left them to be scars.
Can't be scars if you heal them.
That's. Well, I think that the Klingons will just stitch it closed, but I'm interested in seeing how we'll go with no arm in this combat. In this, we're going into the adventure with already a crippled limb, so this will be good. I'm very proud of all of you for the Empire. At this point, you guys, everyone travels in essentially a coffin. You do all get memories of the river of the dead, the barge of the dead, and also you guys can have your minds wander. You can try and talk with each other, which I don't recommend because you'll probably wind up being ready to kill each other by the time you get out of the tubes.
True.
True, and you do feel the you hear a proximity alarm, which indicates that your torpedoes are coming toward their target. There's obviously no windows. They weren't even big on view screens. This was just pure instrumentation and hope for the best.
How much
So
space do we
it's
have inside these tubes?
It's a coffin.
Okay.
So you're pretty much in a coffin, which the Klingons have called them that. These are your coffins. Is there anything you wish to particularly attempt to do inside the tube?
Well, I was asking because I was going to see if I
have
could
some
walk
time.
Sergeant Krovek through, fixing his wounds.
He can move his arms to some degree. I don't know what he'd fix his wounds with.
Well, that's his issue to figure out.
Okay. Did you want to contact him about this?
We could try. Why not?
Okay. Beedle-a-deep. Yeah, so you could break radio silence on the approach to a hostile planet. Go right ahead.
Oh, yeah. I guess there's that, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, there's that. Shit. But the torpedoes begin firing what you feel is retros. There's proximity alarms like indicating landing is imminent and to brace for impact. I don't know if you all want to brace for impact.
Probably makes sense.
Absolutely.
All right. What I need is some fitness and security rolls from everybody. You need about probably. Just tell me how many successes you have. And that's how much damage. I mean, that's how well things go.
2.
7 and a 15, so that's 2 for me.
Okay, Drag has two successes. Doctor.
1 and 1 failure. But it's a 16, so
Okay.
it's not a bad one.
Oof. And Krovek, how many successes do you have?
2.
2. All right. So that's a group success of 5. All right. And we roll against planetary defenses. How frisky does the planetary defenders feel? Ooh.
Wait a minute, wasn't that threat at a 6 before? What happened?
It was. The ship blew up. You lost all your equipment.
Oh, okay.
I
was there for that.
You were there for
He
that
can
part.
use it if he wants to.
In Beluga, it's like
How many people
Wow.
were on that ship?
approximately 30 plus a targ.
30
Plus a targ.
plus the targ?
Yes.
So 30 not including the
Yes.
targ? As we're going down, I'd like to say, 29 good souls go to Stovacor. That was a dig
You
at
are
Kratos.
absolutely a penis about that. Two penises about this. Quite well done. Again, I am prepared to run an Empire game if necessary.
I'm having a lot of fun being a Klingon, so
You get to cut loose a bit.
yeah.
Cut loose, as it were. So you guys do land. You have, let me see. I've got, nope, I only got 3 successes. Okay. So your torpedoes do actually begin to begin to retro and land. You have some good successes. I also, unfortunately, let me see who had the lowest roll. Doctor, you're going to have to. You notice that some of your controls are freezing up and not functioning appropriately. Perhaps it's the codes that Corbett gave you. Maybe Corbett gave you the wrong codes. But you may have to make a con and let me double check on what it is. You're going to need to make a con and control check. Two of your favorite numbers. Two of your favorite
All right,
numbers.
I'm gonna steal an extra die.
It will be a
Momentum.
It will be a difficulty level 2 challenge because your torpedo seems to be going off course on re-entry.
All right. So I need
1 die.
yeah.
You just buying 1 die.
Both 1. I
Okay.
need 12 or higher.
All right. Lower.
Oh no.
I got a success.
Well.
If the doctor dies, Krovek or Drag is gonna die as well. It's just the way. If there's not somebody to stop us, we will kill each other.
So I also got a 20.
Oh shit.
And a 16.
Yes. And a 16. So you had only 1 success and you needed 2.
Yep.
Well, that's totally unfortunate. Well, it's always blessed are the cheesemakers.
Now I've got
Let me
2
go grab
prosthetic
my
eyes.
Yes, now you have 2. So what's going to happen is not necessarily great.
Too old for this shit.
Let me see. At this point, I'm going to have to roll some damage dice for you.
This is why it took so long for the Dominion to be defeated.
Yes, 5.
Because these were the kind of missions that were going on behind enemy lines.
I got a 5, and a 4 for damage. So that's 2 points of damage, which is shrug offable. Unless it's 5, it doesn't matter. Or piled on within the same scene.
So I still added to stress though?
You take 2 stress. Okay. But when we switch scenes, they just come right back.
Oh, okay.
Because it's banging around damage.
Gotcha.
So yes, you do make it. However, and at this point, what I'm going to do is, this is the thing they tell you to not do. And what's that? Split the party. And give me a minute to. Boop.
The doctor eventually finds the dead bodies of Krovek and Dreg laying on top of each other with blades sticking out of them.
Yeah. This is how I'm going to tell the difference. I'm going to label one of them lost. And it will have lens flares and an incomprehensible plot that's never resolved. So that's how we're going to do that.
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
You're in the Abrams first, fully. Doctor, you have landed in your tube. You have taken a few points of damage. When you open the torpedo, you're on an Arctic frozen waste, uh, and the wind is whistling through your ears, stinging your eyes. The sunlight, even though it indicates an aurora borealis and moonlight, some of us don't have the luxury of doing really good Google image searches. But it is very difficult to see in this. And also, I will let you know that all Klingons are highly susceptible to frostbite, being a tropical species. So there is very little in the tube in the way of any supplies because you're a warrior and the rest of it was going to be in the baggage van that blew up. So you now have your batleth, your dagger, and a and your disruptor pistol, and that's what you have.
I don't have my emergency surgical kit anymore.
Pardon me. No, that was just strapped to your thigh. Pardon me. Yes, that you have. I believe you also all have tricorders.
Hey, thick thighs actually do save
Yes,
lives
they
here.
do. So you do have those things. You can attempt to make it to the rendezvous at this point. You essentially pop the hatch because the coffin is of no use to you anymore, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I kind of need to know what you'd like to do next.
My first thought was trying to fashion something to allow me to be able to see a little bit better, and then try to make the rendezvous.
Okay. You can rip some of the fur off of your jacket and use it as a bandana, but something along those lines with a little slit in the middle.
A question about that.
Ask.
Since my eye is cybernetic, is that really affected by the sunlight? I know I don't get any technical advantages, but I feel like logically...
You don't technically have an advantage. It's going to be probably as overwhelmed by the brightness. So you're dealing with like the equivalent of snow blindness.
Right.
If that makes any sense to you.
Okay.
Part of it is like forgetting where you guys all live. So it's like sun coming off the white sand or bouncing off the snow. But it is blessedly cold and will require let me see, where is it? Reason and science or security to kind of give you a little bit of an Arctic survival role here.
I can do that. Reason and science.
Yes.
Well, apparently I gotta stop rolling that die. So I got a 6 and a 20.
Another one?
Another one.
I actually hadn't even resolved the first complication.
Double complication.
Like double secret probation, people. I need some advice from the peanut gallery, I think it's called. These are all scoring on your own goal, people. Yeah, no one wants
I can
to do
have a focus
anything.
in survival too, if that helps at all. I mean, not against the 20s, but just in general.
It does help the 20. But that does at least get it. The complication you do pick up is that you are succumbing to the cold more quickly than would be normal, despite your role. You may have listened to Arctic survival instead of Antarctic survival, so you were busy looking around for bears when you didn't have to worry about them, and you felt that you were more worried about protecting yourself from large predators than the weather. Mm-hmm. And while you were doing that, your hand became frostbitten and frozen to your dagger that was clutched in your hand. So that's going to take a couple of med kit moments to fix.
Right.
If you want to use up your med kit, has a limited use. It has 3 uses. You have 3 potions of extra healing, essentially. And I'm not seeing anybody coming to anyone's rescue. You people are vicious. No fate points for anyone. Screw you.
Yeah, I'll try to treat the frostbite.
You're going to use up one of your charges to treat the frostbite?
Yep.
Okay. You are able to do that and cure yourself. from that. So you now have lifted the issue of manipulating things. Your hand comes unstuck from your dagger, so that's rather nice. Good for you. And I believe you also have a reasonable bearing on the rendezvous site, so you can make your way to that in a little bit. And what I'm going to do then is look upon the odd couple and see how that's going. And you're welcome to cite Klingon regulations 407.37 governing the jettisoning of Patak from starships.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
By the way, you
climb
both,
out
you
of
both
the.
land. Yes, you now both can. You both land on a planet. Here you are. Yes.
And climb out and go, today is a good day to die. That was fun.
First time for everyone. I'm gonna whip out my tricorder and immediately start scanning for the largest power source.
Okay. Beware to keep the scans low. They'll be a little more difficult than usual to prevent them from being detected. Okay. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Okay, so I got the two. I wanted to make sure I administered the two complications. So you are going to do a low power scan. You both look around
Yes.
and notice that there seems to be a distinct lack of lack of comrade here.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Continue my scan.
Oh, the good honorable doctor did not make it. His soul stands at the gates of Stovacor, a good honorable man. And then I look over at Krovik. Maybe one day you'll be honorable too.
I will say that there probably is the equivalent of a mission before honor thing going on. That there's a
Yes.
circuit breaker built into the Klingon psyche.
Mm-hmm.
What is the
someone's
phrase,
asking for
audience? What is the phrase about a burning house that the Klingons might bring to the fore at this point?
If your house is burning down, but you left your GameCube inside, run back into the house, save the GameCube.
Not quite it. No, it's not where we're headed. It might. I feel the Klingons are more of
What fucking year is it? Jesus
I
Christ.
think the Klingons feel that it's more of they're more of we because of the nunchuck thing, the chucks. a little more active there. I'm just looking over at the chat. You guys are just not caring. They're not giving us anything. Nay.
It's okay.
So you do get a bearing 187 Mark II. Amazingly, same to Starfleet. 187 Mark II is your bearing to what was supposed to be your target. Not your target yet, but your target.
All right, we're gonna start going in that direction.
Okay.
Or I am.
Okay. This way. So you guys are I'm going with, and you're marching and you're marching and you're marching. Let me see. We've got flipping back to the dock, Dr. Hercule. You're moving toward your rendezvous point as well. And what I'm going to do is just literally throw what a crazy random happenstance at all you guys. And have you arrive? I do not know what Ice Boots was.
Something we didn't buy.
Something you did not have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone left those off the list.
If we only would have had time to go shopping.
Yes, Honor was satisfied.
But shopping
was not. Let me double quick check. What's our time left in transmission? Or is it
Technically, we should be wrapping up in 2 minutes.
over?
I kinda want to just like stash this off to the side and come back to it the next time it's just the four of us. I really
We really
enjoy
should
being a
finish
Klingon.
this one. Yes, I agree. Because there has to be a final fight between Krovek and Dreg, right?
Absolutely.
There has to be.
Oh,
Only one of them is gonna survive this mission, if that.
so what I'm going to do then is put a cosmic pin in it where you all encounter each other. You are looking over you arrive. Um, there is some level of terrain. There's an ice covered river and a large building that looks like a two-story structure that looks a bit like remarkably like a Dominion low-level small outpost with a transmission tower coming out the top. Korvik and Dreg are both working on things. Hercule, you see two Klingons just poking their heads up over the ridge, observing this, and you can decide what you want to do with this as you apparently get the drop on them.
Well,
Oh god, here's the twist. Urkel comes out of nowhere and kills both Drake and Krovik.
I will sneak up on them, only for the sake of proving that just because I'm old doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. And these little young amateurs should pay a little bit more attention.
What are you going to say to shock them out of their revelry?
Can we make him roll for that?
Oh, I would like to see it.
Yeah, I'll get another 20.
No,
again.
I'm going to say I'm going to say you're both. This is going to be basically everyone's perception and security.
That's is that insight or
Oh,
present?
sorry,
insight, right?
insight and security. Everyone gets an insight security. Actually,
two
Hercule,
successes.
you get control and security.
Okay.
With my focus in high council politics, I should be able to notice someone sneaking about,
No.
right? That's very
No.
politicky, right?
It's such a clever idea, and I don't know how you don't turn every meeting over the agenda about who is in charge of the church bulletin board into a bloodbath.
Look, most Klingons have honor. That's all I'm saying.
Hercule, how many successes
I had 2
did we?
successes.
How many 20? How many
No
20s did you roll?
20s.
Okay. I need to Dreg. How many successes did?
9 and an 11. That's 2 successes for me.
Right. And then Kruvik, how did we do?
2 successes as well.
Okay. Ties go to the player character. And at this point,
that doesn't really help us
no,
here.
it does not. Or they go to the actor. So if the player character, if it's 2 player characters, the player character acting will tend to have the benefit of the doubt. If it's a tie, it tends to go to the player character. So if you're in a combat and you tie, it goes to you.
Give it to the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor's got it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the doctor's got it. What do you need to do?
So just
What do you want to say?
just sneak up on them and is this what you guys call covert? I thought you called yourselves Klingons.
That's because they're clinging onto that rock.
Yeah, I turn around and go, I prefer to meet my foes face on in battle.
Yes, stealth is a coward's weapon.
You speak of cowardice because you know so much about it. Because you
Wisdom
are
comes
We're
with
really gonna
age,
do
and
this.
wisdom will tell you that there's different ways to battle, and it's not always
Hold
with
on,
your fists.
Hold on.
No, just stop.
Hold on. Sorry. No. I'm making a decision off of rolling a d20 here, so hold on.
You're all without honor.
Yeah, okay. next time.
Next time. And we will then end the
From-
scene of you all about ready to kill each other just short of
From
the enemy
here on,
base.
every time he throws a little jab at
Yes.
me, I'm rolling a d20. If it's an even number, we're gonna stay the blade. Odd number, he's getting stabbed.
Every single time Krovek looks at Drake, I'm not rolling a die. I'm just gonna.
And I'll just keep rolling
Oh,
20.
my
So.
die back.
Oh man, this was I was a little scared about playing a Klingon, but I think we all performed admirably.
Sure we did.
Sure. You have clearly demonstrated why the humans defeated all of you in almost every conflict.
Right?
I feel that
Klingons can't help but fight with themselves.
I feel that the Dominion War is pretty much stitched up at this point. yes. That
What we need to do is
General Martok and
we
the
need to
fleet
find-
are goners, man.
we need to find a Klingon to challenge the Doctor, so that way he can have the same.
Get in on this.
Yeah, you want to be a piece of this.
You want a piece of this? You want a piece of anarchy?
This doctor's
Oh.
been around long enough. He hasn't popped the eye out and thrown at you yet, so.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is do this. Oh, put back on my magic hat, and we're all.
Oh, Q,
back
there
in
you
the
are.
room. Yes, it's a clever disguise of the continuum. We are so good with hoodies.
You trickster, you.
I am.
You.
So thank you so much, everyone, for part one of just the tip of the bat'leth. These will be some very interesting games. At some point, we shall make sure that Armand does not have rank on anyone in a game, which seemed to be a total accident. They weren't aware of how the character sheets look. So yeah, thank you so much. Do we have an outro from running?
Yeah, so obviously first things first is if you have not hit that follow button down the bottom and you enjoyed what we did here this evening, please do hit that. Everything in this whole platform depends on follows. So, and if you did enjoy it, also pay attention to our night on Wednesday nights. We do 5th edition D&D homebrew campaign run by our very own Armand here.
Where I get pretty much the same treatment that I was just giving Wayne the entire.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
it's
I've
almost
gotta
like
work
you
out
gotta
how to-
give it back.
This is going to be a lot of fun, actually.
And then Thursday nights, we will be alternating between Star Wars, run by our Bruce Gaskins, and Aliens, run by myself, as soon as my ship comes in, which I did get confirmation through UPS that it has in fact shipped.
Is it an empty box though? That's the question.
Or full of rocks, who knows. But something is shipped and on its way, and we will know soon.
It will be a big bag of poo.
When Aliens is over, though, it'll be a very short, survive a couple episode type thing. We'll be kicking back into our Rifts by Palladium Books, season 2. So stay tuned for that. And we're gonna do some raid reading.
Hey, and I dropped that Discord link in chat as well. If you're not a member of the Discord, I highly recommend just clicking the link. It's super easy, doesn't cost you anything. You get constant updates about when we go live, and just some general like chit chat about different things, PC games, all the different streams that we do. And the general chat gets pretty lively now. So please, by all means, join us.
We'll be doing a community day where we play games with other people at some point. We haven't announced it yet. I think we're still figuring out exactly what we're gonna do. But other stuff like that too. We have giveaways that we do occasionally. So pay attention to all that news. And let's go ahead and get into this raid. We're gonna raid the Lollygaggers. This is a group
Oh, I love
that
those
found,
guys.
Early on. They're really good. they're playing Aliens right now, so they are doing what I wish we could be doing this Thursday.
Oh, maybe I should figure out how we're supposed to play.
Yeah.
This will be
So does that mean it's going to be Star Wars Thursday?
Possibly. I'm
Or-
gonna talk to Bruce Gaskin and see where he's at with it. I think he's got enough content to do another week if he wants to, and then. But I want to make sure the ship's here first, and then because otherwise I'll just do something else, and we'll pick up next week with Star Wars.
so we wouldn't want to like pick this. We don't want to pick this one up and muddy the alien group, right?
I am not opposed to it. If you guys want to do that, finish this Thursday instead.
What on Thursday? Oh, and we're out. Sorry, Chad.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, we're out.
but yeah, no Thursdays and no can do. That's
Okay. I just wanted to check.
that's my lazy vegetable.